Hey everybody, this is yet another video about Windows 8. Now when I say Windows 8, I'm not necessarily referring to the original Windows 8. This also includes releases such as Windows 8.1. It's real funny how back in 2012, or actually in 2011, Microsoft saw how sales of the iPad were good, and saw how sales of just tablets in general and phones were doing pretty well, and PC sales were not doing the best. So Microsoft decided to change up their Windows operating system quite a bit, in quite a drastic way. And I remember back when the Windows 8 developer preview came out, it was my first time ever messing with Windows 8. Never knew that they removed the start button, removed the start menu, and replaced it with this tablet interface. After installing Windows 8, for the first time, I was very disappointed. I was so upset that I just set the camera down and didn't bother even making a review video of Windows 8 Developer Preview. That's how upset I was. Because basically Microsoft decided to alienate their desktop users. Oh yeah, you still have a desktop there with icons and a taskbar, but you don't have a start button, you don't have a start menu, and no, the start screen does not replace the start menu. Don't even go there. The start menu is gone, the start button is gone, and another thing that really upset me was they got rid of one of the Media Center. Oh yeah, they still offered it, but you had to buy Professional and then spend an extra, $10 to $20 on a media pack just to get Windows Media Center when it's offered standard in Windows 7 and Windows Vista. We all know Windows 8 in general had a very, very poor launch. Many people didn't really care much for it. So Microsoft started to sort of, I'll get to this word here shortly. So they started to notice how people were getting very upset. So they heard some of the complaints, so they put the start button back and allowed you to boot the desktop in Windows 8. Well, actually, it's in 8.1 they did this stuff. They allow you to boot the desktop. They have a start button there, but no start menu. You still have to go back to the tablet interface to get to your apps and all that kind of stuff. So they sort of started to head sort of back in the right direction. But of course, again, I'll mention this word here shortly, but they weren't doing enough of this. They heard some of the user complaints and fixed some of the problems. Yeah, you can boot the desktop, you have a start button, but guess what? They hid libraries from showing up as a default option. You could turn them back on, but they weren't there as a default option like in Windows 7. They got rid of backup and restore completely. In terms of the user interface, it's not there. The file sorter is still there. You can still probably go into the task scheduler and actually initialize the backup and restore utility, but it's not there in Windows 8.1. And Windows 8.1, they also got rid of Windows Experience Index. So yeah, they see in the modern UI or Metro interface, they redesigned it to where you have more size of tiles and you can have your own custom background on the start screen and everything else. Of course, tailoring all the touch users and still not really doing much for the desktop users. But of course, now it's December, as you can see. The Christmas spirit is going on. You can see, got the Christmas time Q computer logo up on the screen. And of course, yeah, it's December, and Microsoft has actually listened to users. Yeah, listened. It's rumored that there's going to be a release of Windows next month called Windows 8.2. And they're going to do the following things. It's going to have a start menu. No, not just a start button, but a start menu. Like what you used to click to access ever since Windows 95. It's going to be back. And probably better than ever before, hopefully. They're going to be bringing back libraries to Windows 8. So in Windows 8.2, we're going to have libraries. So that's another thing that they're definitely bringing back. Now, of course, I don't know all the features off the top of my head, but those are the two key things that they're going to be fixing in Windows 8.2. You have an actual start menu here to to access to get to your programs, not tablet apps, but programs. And of course, libraries is going to be brought back to default because, of course, not everybody wants to have a cloud feature called SkyDrive. I mean, I don't really care much for it because I store things locally, not on some server over in Redmond. So now that being said, just think about it. It's real funny. It took Microsoft a year and a half to figure out what users wanted. Windows 8 was an utter failure. Windows 8.1, yeah, it's a little bit better. But Windows 8.2, hopefully it'll get things figured out. I mean, it's just real funny in Windows 8.1, they put the start button back. Guess what? That was there in the developer preview. So all they did was go back into developer preview and just take a few APIs and put them back. It made the start button look like the new Windows logo. So when you click it, it takes you back to the start screen. The thing that most people hate about the new Windows 8. So yeah, it took them a year and a half to start listening to what users wanted. Yeah, they heard some complaints, but they weren't really listening up until now. Hopefully they'll actually start listening. So yeah, we'll see what happens in Windows 8.2. So yeah, of course, these are rumors. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen yet, but these rumors are really starting to show up across many sites such as like CNET and Softpedia, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully in January, we'll see something nice come out of Windows finally. So anyway, it's kind of a random video, but if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.